Hey guys, Fist2 here, and today we are going to be doing a different kind of video. So, as you can see from the thumbnail, this video is about ranking Little Nightmares characters, so a tier list. So, yeah, we're just gonna get right into it because I'm pretty excited to record this video. Alright guys, so this is on Tier Maker, and I will leave the link to this down in the description if you want to go, if you want to go do it yourself. Make sure you actually put it in my Discord. I'll leave the link to that down below as well. But we're starting off with the Pretender. I'm going to put the Pretender at a B. The Pretender's cool and all. I like her design, but she just weren't, she wasn't the best thing ever. So that's the main reason why I'm putting her at the B. She wasn't that scary either. She was the demise of Raincoat Girl. So makes me like her a little bit less. Obviously, characters are gonna die in Little Nightmares. It's just the way of the no way, So yeah, that's why I put the Pretender at a B. Not the best character ever, but she's obviously not the worst. The Craftsman, then, I think I have to put him at a B too. Anyway, the Craftsman, yeah, definitely a B as well. Definitely better than the Pretender. I think, yeah. I think the Craftsman's definitely better than the Pretender. I love his design. He's really scary as well. So, yeah, that's probably the main reason why I put him at a B. I like his goggles and his backwards legs. 6. Most people would put 6 straight up to an S tier. But if you guys know me, you know I'm not the biggest fan of 6, especially what she did to Mono. Therefore, 6's design and character is cool and all, but after what she did to Mono, it's made me lose a bit of respect for her. Meaning 6 is gonna have to move all the way. No, I'm joking. An A. 6 gets an A. She's not the best character, but she's not the worst. And don't kill me for that. If you disagree, you disagree. Okay, don't kill me for that. So yeah, 6 at an A. I think that's fair. And then we're gonna go for Mono. Mono S tier. I love Mono. He's my favourite character in the whole of Little Nightmares. Mostly because he gives me the most nostalgia back to 2019 actually, when I first... Well, actually I discovered Little Nightmares, I think it was in December 2018. And then I finished the first game, I like it, and then Little Nightmares 2 gets announced, which made Little Fipsy like really, really excited. So yeah, Mono S tier. I always like to say that his design is so simple, it makes it unique. I know that doesn't make sense. But what I'm trying to say is I love Mono's design. His eye holes in his bag, his lengthy trench coat. I love Mono. I think he's awesome. Then, Low and Alone. I definitely prefer one over the other. So, and this has actually changed. But yeah. Ooh, perfect. But yeah, Low and Alone, we don't know much about them, but I already love their friendship. Therefore, I'm going to put Alone at an A tier and Low at an S tier. A tier. So they're both at an A tier. I definitely like Alone more than Low. I just love her design a lot more. I don't know why, and I love that she's wielding a wrench as well. I'd rather wield a wrench instead of holstering. Is that the right word? Holstering a bow. And doing archery and that, because I think that's going to be a pain, like having it exactly like the right aim, or is it just going to be like, I don't know, like auto snipe or whatever, aimbot. But yeah, that's why I put Low and Alone as an A. I love Low's hair as well. I think Low's hair is really cool, but I just love her green coat thing. So yeah. Who are these? What are they called? But they're going at a C. They're like the rip-off guests. I know they're not the Dwellers, because the Dwellers are like the frozen stone people in the nowhere, the necropolis. So yeah, I think these rip-off guests, they're going to have to go at a C tier. They're not the best. They're also not the worst. From what I've seen of them, they look pretty cool. Obviously, as I said, they're similar to the guests, so I'm going to put the guests in C as well. They're very similar, and they're probably going to have it's like similar things to them, so they're gonna try to grab the kids, eat them probably, stuff like that. The multi-hand Giga Roger, female Giga Roger. What did I call it? I called it like, not the janitor, I called it someone like Mrs. Janitor, yeah. This is Mrs. Janitor. So I'm going to say Mrs. Janitor's going to have to go at an A. I like Mrs. Janitor. Mrs. Janitor is scary. Mrs. Janitor looks scary. Mrs. Janitor is scary. Going to be scary. I said the same thing twice. But I like Mrs. Janitor. Because if I'm honest, I'm dreading seeing Mrs. Janitor. Because she is really scary. And she's got lots of hands. And she's going to chase slow and low. And it's going to be scary, as I said. So yeah. I also like her design. I like how bony her fingers are. That's... Mirror. C. Not the best, but not the worst. You know, we haven't seen much about it. I know symbol or something, I think. But we haven't really seen the significance of the mirror yet. So, C. I think that's fair enough. The Beatles, C as well. Not the best thing ever, but they're a very minor boss. I am going to enjoy beating them up though as low. So I think I'm going to play as low through my first playthrough. I'm definitely going to enjoy beating the Beatles up with Alone. So yeah, I think that's going to be very cool. The Monster Baby, easy A. The Monster Baby is probably going to be my favourite boss of Little Nightmares 3. Because she's just awesome. Like her eye feature, her design, the Monster Baby is just so cool. And I love how big she is and how clumsy she is. I think that's very, like, what's the word? Iconic. The baby is this big and yet, despite being, like, so clumsy. So, yeah, easy A is the baby for me. The Twin Chefs, this Twin Chef is my least favourite Twin Chef. So he's going to go at a B, and this is my favourite Twin Chef at an A. The reason why is, look at him. Look at how silly he looks. See, he's like a pug. And then he's just fat. You know? He just got his rolls on his face. Oh, now he's perfect. He's majestic. His little sausage fingers too. I love the chef. I love him. The Leech, D. My first D. My first D tier. You know, it's a bit. They're more annoying than anything. Not really much to say. His design's really simple too. So yeah, I think a D is deserved for that one. The Bullies, A tier, not S tier, A tier. I like the Bullies because they're really funny. Because they act like children. They snicker a lot. And I love the way Mono just bashes their heads in with a hammer or something. Or I really like the Bullies. I think they're awesome. I love the Bullies. I like the design too. I like how this one looks so innocent as well. So yeah. Hunter, A tier. Not really much to say. It's a cool character. Definitely the most underrated character in Little Nightmares 2. I love the Hunter. I like his design. I like the fact that he's wielding a shotgun, something actually deadly, like an item that's deadly that can kill us. I think that's really cool. Teacher, S tier. The Teacher's one of the scariest bosses in the whole Little Nightmares. I think just getting beaten by the mannequins. I actually think she's like, I think she's like drawing as well with the granny. Because the granny's scary. Really scary, the granny is. But yeah, I think S tier definitely. I love her design. Sharp teeth. I just think she's really scary. And the school's probably my favourite chapter of Little Nightmares 2 as well. So yeah. The Hand. C tier. You know, it was scary. It was a very minor boss. Like, even, like, smaller than the Beatles. But it was funny. It was clumsy. And it was really cool. Seeing the hand walk around the monitor had to hit it. And the sounds it made as well. I think I like the Hands, and I want there to be something like that besides, obviously, the Beatles in Little Nightmares 3. The Doctor, B, very bland design, definitely one of the least scariest in Little Nightmares 2. He's just a bit, you know, he's more funny looking than scary, because just look at that. Oof. The Mannequins, A tier, the scariest boss in the whole of Little Nightmares, I think. The Mannequins were awful, I really hated them, but they're like scary today as well. So yeah, I like the Mannequins. I like the Mannequins, and they're scary. And yeah. Next up, we got the Goop Thing. The Goop Thing is gonna have to go at a C. I like that it's a symbol of... Actually, no, see. I like the... It's like a symbol, it's a symbol that, and it's the reveal of the signal tower as a living organism. I think that was really cool, that. And then the chase scene as well, I like the eye thingy, the gloop. But obviously this is definitely not B tier. Definitely not as good as the second Twin Chef and the Craftsman. But definitely not as bad as the Leech. Thin Man, S tier. Thin Man, super cool. I love that as well, it's mono as well. It is mono grown up. Obviously the what's it called? The development into the Thin Man. I love that as well. I just think the Thin Man's awesome. And I like the way he like distorts and slows everything down around him. I think that's very cool as well. And his design, as well as like the same as mono, is so simple, it makes it unique. Next up, we got the Shadow Kids. B. They were scary. They were really scary. But the design is bland. And they were more annoying than anything. Because you have to, like, multitask with them. Yeah, but definitely scary. Definitely fit in the world of Little Nightmares. And I like that it's a symbol of the souls of the kids of the souls of the victims of the lady. So, yeah. The Granny, A tier. As I said, not as, I don't think as scary as the teacher, but definitely scary. I also like the way she was different from every other boss. Like, she was in the water. We've never seen that before in Little Nightmares. So, yeah, I like the Granny. I thought the Granny was cool. So that's why I'm putting her at an A. And as well, the way she dies is really cool as well. The eye, I'm going to take this as a symbol of the eye. The all-seeing eye. Which I'm going to put at an A. I'm not counting this as the boss itself, but I'm counting this as the symbol of the nowhere. The eye is definitely the symbol of the nowhere, and I think is a symbol of something's always watching you. I like to think that's what the eye is all about. So A tier. If it was just the animatronic looking eye itself, a C. But I'm taking it as, you know, the symbol of what the eye is. 10-year-old Gemini, the Lollipop Kid. The Lollipop Kid probably a B. I liked him. He's my favorite story out of all of them. I thought he was really goofy as well. Just look at him. He's crying. He's with his lollipop. He's got some pretty good thwacks in him. I'm not going to lie. That's British, really British. But he's got a lot of an oomph. He puts a lot of oomph into his swings and crushes the bully's head, which is cool. So I like him. The Bloody Nose Girl. Same person, maybe. Bloody Nose Girl. C. No, B. B. The Bloody Nose Girl, not the coolest character ever, but also not the worst character ever. There's not really much to say about it. Her story was cool as well. Lollipop Kid's my favourite story, then Bloody Nose Girl, then the Toddler, then the Ghost Kid. So, yeah. The Ghost Kid, C. I don't think it's worthy of being a D, but it's definitely not worthy of being a B. The Ghost Kid's story was really bland. Mostly because it was in the Pale City. Which is the Pale City. It's pretty bland. Also, its design. I like the fact it's only got one arm. But, you know, it's just a bit meh. The Toddler, B. He's not as good as these two, but he's not as bad as the Ghost Kid. So that's why I'm putting him a tier. I think he was pretty cool. His story was cool. The character itself, not as much. The Wrinkle Girl, B. I'm gonna put it at the front of the B. She was like, you know, she was alright. But she's definitely the worst protagonist out of all the protagonists we've seen in the games. So it's a bit mid, in the middle, I think. The Wax Spellman, B. I would have loved to see this character in Little Nightmares, but we never got to see it. I'm still not sure if it's the Hanging Man. That's the theory. But, you know, a bit boring. We didn't get to see much of him. If we did see something, I'm pretty sure he'd be an A. But I think a B is nice for it. Shadow 6, A. I like Shadow 6. Why are you there? I like Shadow 6 because it's like a symbol of who 6 really is, or the evil and dark side of 6. I think she was pretty cool, I guess. I definitely I prefer normal 6 over Shadow 6. So yeah. The viewers I like the viewers, as I said. Actually, I know I haven't mentioned this yet, but Little Nightmares 2 is my favorite game. Yeah, Little Nightmares 1 is a good game, but it's not as good as the second. 100%. I like. Again, I think these guys propose some sort of symbol as well. It's a bit like reality, isn't it? Just life's getting really boring. People are, people are committing, if you know what I mean. I like the design. I like that their faces are mushed in because of the TV. I like the theory that the gloop is their faces. I like that theory a lot. That the TV has literally sucked the knowledge out of them. The Runaway Kid, not as good as Mono, but not as good as 6, I don't think either, but definitely not as bad as the Raincoat Girl. I liked the Runaway Kid. I feel like his story was unanswered. Well, actually, no, it was answered and hadn't concluded, so I'm lying about that. But I liked the end of his story as well. I also feel like I think out of all the characters, this is the character that I feel most guilty, I guess, for. Because I think he had the worst end, being eaten alive. Sure, he waited years, turned into the Thin Man, just to get killed, but this guy got eaten alive. So, Noon! I'm gonna put Noon at an A. I liked her character because she's the only kid we heard the voice of besides Mono and 6's whispers. I thought she was cool, I guess. I like her voice is cool. Her character's cool, and I like the way she describes the nowhere as well. So I think Noon's pretty cool. The Mirror Man B, bit bland, as I said many times. He's a bit bland. I haven't read the comics, so I don't really know anything about it. So these next ones, oh god. Besides the Ferryman, I think the North Wind as well I'm going to struggle with, because I haven't read the comic. But yeah, B, a bit, he's alright. The Ferryman, A, I like the Ferryman. I like his, the way he's, so ominous. I really like the Ferryman. I think his design's cool as well. I can't tell if he's wearing a sack, or if he's just got, really long rock hair. The North Wind, B, I'm pretty sure that'd be much higher if I read the comics, but I haven't. I don't know why. I should probably do that. But the North Wind, I know he has a lot of significance to the story of Little Nightmares, I think. And I know that he's very manipulative as well, but I like the North Wind. I think the North Wind's cool. Monster 6, A. B. The Monster 6, B. Not as good as normal 6. Monster 6 was cool to see, though. And it's cool to see the twisted version of 6. The Gnome, A. I love the Gnomes. Not as good as Mono in that, but I love the Gnomes. I think the Gnomes are incredible. They're really cool. I like them. Roger, S tier. I love Roger. Probably one of my favorite Little Nightmares bosses ever. He was really creepy at the same time as being really goofy. But I thought Roger as a whole, his whole character, I like that he's one of the only writing we see in Little Nightmares. His name tag. But I thought Roger was really cool. The janitor, I thought he was really, really cool. I don't even know. These are from the comics, Mono's comic, but D. We barely saw any of them. I don't think they really have a name. The Housefire Children, maybe. I think that's a fitting name from the Housefire Children. We saw nothing of them, basically. So, D tier, I think that's fitting. The Lunch Lady, C. I love the concept art of the Lunch Lady, but if we manage to see her in game, I'm actually going to bump her up to a B. If we actually saw her in the game, that would have been so cool. So cool. But yeah, wasted potential there, I think. The Shoe Monster and the Garbage Monster, they're basically the same thing. It was unexpected, but we literally only got them for one tiny part of a chapter. So very, insignificant. Not really that cool either. Not scary. So yeah. The Barber B, I would have loved to seen this character in Little Nightmares 2. Loved, and I emphasize on it because he's so cool. These two I would have loved to see the most in the games. The Barber especially. No, actually the Lunch Lady. I would prefer to see the Lunch Lady. But the Barber was really cool. And Gemini Siri on it as well. I like that. The lady... lot of you gonna hate me for this again, but B, the lady, she didn't... She's a bit boring in my opinion. I don't think she was that cool as people say she is. But as I said, she's a bit boring. She's not the coolest character ever. You know, she's like in the middle, I think. The Butler B, again, a lot of these going to be. The Butler, yeah, he was cool and all. I definitely prefer him over the Craftsman and the Pretender. But if we saw more of him, I think he would have been, like, you know, bumped up to an A. And then, last and least, probably, is the Hanging Man. Actually, not least. C. We didn't see much of him. There's a lot of unsolved lore to him as well. So, yeah. This is my final tier list. As I said, make sure to leave your tier list down in the in my Discord. As I said, I'll leave the description. I'll leave the links to my Discord as well as this down in the description below. Different video, as I said. This month we are going to be getting new Little Nightmares 3 stuff. So stay tuned for that because I will be covering all of it. So yeah, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little video. It was definitely a fun video to make. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.